Well, the cyber threat landscape is really getting worse, I'm afraid. Firstly, we have much more complexity happening globally in most organizations in terms of implementation of new exciting things like AI. What that means is that organizations' IT environments are getting more complex. That affords more opportunity for attackers. So the threat landscape actually is becoming more complicated, more difficult to deal with. Now, here at IBM, we produce the cost of data breach report, and that actually gives some statistics. So if we think about the Middle East, the average cost of a cyber incident in our latest report is 27 million Saudi riyals. So it gives you some idea. These are very big things when things go wrong. It costs a lot. So the threat landscape is getting more complicated, more difficult to deal with, and is very costly when things go wrong. And here in the Middle East, specifically, there's some sectors like oil and gas, for example, and energy that are targeted very heavily as well. So specifically in the Middle East, there's quite a bit that organizations have to be really aware of and really focused on to ensure that they're not victims of these types of attacks.
How do you see that, how the regulatory bodies are responding to this threat, especially here in Saudi, if you have the chance to follow up this experience here?
Well, here in the Kingdom, I have to say that the Saudi 2030 vision, the inspiring vision that exists here in the Kingdom, means that there's a big change in the digital infrastructure nationally. And of course, with that comes the regulation that is happening. And we see the National Cyber Authority, the NCA, and other agencies here in the Kingdom really being right at the forefront of thinking about regulations. Humane, for example, in terms of how AI is being looked at in the Kingdom. All of these things that are happening mean that the Kingdom is really thinking hard about how to get the regulation right to help businesses and to really ensure that they can then really benefit from the technical advancements that are happening and really realizing the 2030 vision. And here at IBM, we've really been working with those agencies lockstep throughout formulating the vision and really helping where we can, bringing our global expertise to ensure that those bodies, those regulatory bodies, can be right at the forefront to really enable organizations to be equipped to realize the exciting 2030 vision here in the Kingdom.
We're going through a digital transformation. We're getting more people online. So this needs more cooperation between the public sector and the private sector. What do you think is the most urgent challenge here?
Well, here in the Kingdom, I think one of the things that's working really well, and here at IBM we're working with MCIT, for example, to increase capacity and skills. So with MCIT, we're building 100,000 new skills here in the Kingdom. So really making sure that people understand not only how to, in my world, defend against the type of risks that come with, for example, things like AI, but also really making sure that those skills can be deployed to really embrace and take advantage of the new technology as well to realize the 2030 Saudi vision.
Speaking about AI, do you think it's helping or complicating this challenge?
Well, Abada, that's a great question. Both. So firstly, when it comes to attackers, we see that they are now starting to use AI tooling against us. And so a really good example of that we see, for example, is with phishing emails. So, you know, we've all used to getting phishing emails, and they used to be badly worded and everything. Now that's going away. Now we look at phishing emails. Threat actors are using AI to generate phishing emails. So that's a really small example, but a really important example where most of us can see really realistically what's happening today in terms of how attackers are using AI tools. But there's many other things that they use AI for as well. On the defensive side, it really gives us an accelerated way to deal with that complexity that I was talking about before. So what that really means is we see things like where we are deploying in IBM our Agentic AI that now speeds up our ability to respond to alerts over twice as fast as we've done in the past, and to be more accurate as well. So it's really taking, with our Agentic AI here at IBM, our ability to help our clients speed up, be more accurate, and stay one step ahead of the attackers. So that AI and use of it defensively is really foundational and important to defend against the type of attacks that we're seeing.